Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Tea Time Tuesday. Thank you for checking out my website, tinderwounds. If you're watching directly from tinderwounds, if you're watching from YouTube, thank you. Subscribe. If you're watching from Facebook, click the YouTube link and then subscribe. Thank you. And if you click the link in my Instagram bio after you watch this video, subscribe. So I'm drinking wine in today's video because I'm gonna need it through this topic. I wanted to talk today because Father's Day just passed, and shout out to all the great fathers out there, even my friends who are great fathers. I really love y'all for what y'all do, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Y'all don't get enough credit, but it doesn't go unnoticed. Today, however, though, I do want to talk to the girls out there who, if you're like me, you may have struggled with a father relationship. If you're like me, you may have had a rocky father-daughter relationship, or maybe you don't have a relationship with your father at all. I know Father's Day for me is very hard, and I didn't realize that until this year. I could always tell, like, my subconscious around Father's Day will always feel some type of way. But as I become more in tune with myself and I become more aligned, I realize my feelings and my emotions for certain shit, right? So when Father's Day was coming up this year, I was like, I'm feeling some type of way. And I would feel some type of way after seeing someone's post or seeing someone's picture with their father. And it was one of those things where it brought it back to me, like, yes, I'm 27 years old. Yes, I'm about to be 30 in a couple years. Whatever. But there's still a part of me that wants that relationship or hopes for that relationship. And that's something that's a tough pill to swallow. I've gone to therapy. You know, I love my therapist, Cynthia. I always talk about her. But one thing I didn't uncover in our therapy sessions is the relationship with my father. And I feel like because I wanted to focus so much on building that relationship up with my mom, that's what I really focused on throughout my therapy sessions. But my father's relationship is a whole nother situation. You know, like, that's a whole nother pile of shit to uncover that I personally don't know if I'm ready to uncover. I'm pretty sure some of you out there feel the same way. You may be an adult, you may be a teenager, you may be a grown-ass adult, you know, and you still fight with the daddy-daughter relationship. It's normal. The hard part for me to accept, I think, and this is where a lot of my anger comes from, I'm my mother's only child. My father has 3 other children, they're boys. My oldest brother, Chris, me and him are very, very close. But my 2 younger brothers, we're not as close, and that all stems back to the upbringing of the children. My mother and Chris's mother were cool. My 2 younger brothers' mom was not cool with my mother or Chris's mom. And in a sense, it was one of those things where my 2 younger brothers were kept away from us. And so as we're becoming adults, you know, and as we were growing older, that distance was right there. And it always appeared that my father wanted to be involved in their lives and not involved in Chris and my life. And that just really fucking hurt. I think growing up, it was one of those things where, why doesn't my dad want me? You know, like, I needed a sip. But really, why doesn't my dad want me? I see him with his other kids, so why not me? It was always that sense of abandonment. And I would become very angry. I was angry for so long about that, and a part of me still is angry. I have severe abandonment issues. Like, don't answer my phone call in a certain amount of time and you don't call me back, and I really wanted to talk to you. I'm mad. And that's something that I have to work on, you know. And I made this video today because with Father's Day coming around this year and me realizing that it was something that definitely is a trigger for me, it made me dig deeper to try to see the connection or the disconnect in the relationships that I have with men in my life and my father. And one of the things for me is that, you know, abandonment. I could have this big ass wall up and you would never know that I have feelings, period. Like, you wouldn't know that I go through or feel the shit that I feel because I have this wall up. But let you be able to get into that wall and knock that wall down, and I let you in, I'm stuck to you. And that's something that in adulthood you really have to work on, because everyone can't be there when you need them to be all the time. And you really have to take into accountability the important times that this person or these people are there for you, and really work on whatever it is as far as the insecurity that you have between the daddy-daughter relationship, and try to fix it. And that's where I'm at with myself right now. And I say that because I think that's the first step in mending yourself before you can attempt to reach out to a deadbeat, a sperm donor, whatever the fuck you want to call it, okay? I know that it's something in my life that I'm going to have to address eventually, because I have to let that anger go. It's only going to hold me back. I want to address it when I'm no longer seeking anything from him, if that makes sense. Like, you know, I have this talk with him, and, you know, we uncover all of this shit that has hurt me over the years, and he says his piece, I say my piece, whatever. I don't think that the conversation is going to go the way that I want it to go right now, because I'm still looking for something. I'm still expecting something out of it. And you can't ever go into a conversation expecting anything from another person, because you don't control that other person. You can hope for an apology. You can hope for them to be on some real shit. You can hope for them to admit their wrongs, but you can't expect that shit. And if you're expecting it, then you're going to be disappointed when you don't get it. And right now, I feel like I would be disappointed. I know the type of man my father is. He's egotistical. He's manipulative. He doesn't take accountability for his actions. And, you know, when you're dealing with somebody of that caliber, you have to really know yourself and know your triggers and know how to control your triggers. Because if not, that shit going to fuck you up all the time. You're never going to have a progressive conversation or relationship because you're still seeking something. Don't seek anything. Just get what you get, and that's that. And I'm not ready to accept what I'm gonna get from him, because I want more. So until I do that work on myself, where I feel that, okay, cool, I am good. Like, I'm good. If he say some next shit in this conversation, I'm still good. That's the area that I'm working on for that. I do feel, though, however, a part of me feels like this. I have done a lot of work for myself, and I have raised myself for a long time. My mother did a great job when I was living with her, and even after that, and I had to care for myself, you know, it is what it is. But I don't think that my father's presence would have made that much of an improvement in my life. My father is not a man who can be beneficial to me, ever. Could he have ever been beneficial to me? So why would I seek someone who cannot be a benefit in my life to be in my life? And that's how I look at it at this time and point. Because don't get me wrong, I could be doing way better than what the fuck I am right now. Trust me. But there's a lot of things that I've overcome, and I cannot say I'm in a bad space. The other side of me looks at it like, why still hold on to this if you know that this man can't do anything for you? It's like a relationship. Why hold on to this relationship if they can't do anything for you? Doesn't mean you have to hate the person. Doesn't mean that y'all can't be friends. But they don't have to be a benefit or asset in your mind to your life. And that's where I'm at with the situation with my father. He's in his 50s now. He's getting older, you know, and God forbid that I just never get that time to talk. You know, God forbid that I never get that time to really, as an adult, because I've said to him how I felt over the years, and, you know, rah, like I'm firecracker. So, you know, my words were mixed. Now that I'm in my adulthood and I can communicate my thoughts and my feelings a lot better, I want to revisit that conversation, but I'm just not ready for it right now. And I can honestly say that. And what prompted me to make this video about my daddy-daughter situation is because I had made a status. Well, like I said, Father's Day was coming up. This is the Tuesday after Father's Day. So Father's Day was coming up, and I had made a status on Facebook regarding how I felt. So here's my post. As Father's Day approaches, again, I'm looking at the pictures of my friends' kids who I know have absent fathers and just reflecting on how this may affect them once of age. I scrolled past the story about Carmelo Anthony, y'all. About Carmelo's side baby and him allegedly not having an active role in her life. And then I thought about my own relationship with my father, which is non-existent. A few months ago, his longtime girlfriend reached out to me and tried to mend a broken bond. And truth be told, I wonder why she felt the need to, since for so long she played an active role in his absence within my brother Chris and I's life. I still think about how that exchange of words went down. But as Father's Day approaches and the more I think, I'm wondering if now is the time for me to say something, to reach out. I've been harboring feelings of how much I missed out on him, how much I missed out on by him not being there for years. I'm 27 now. I've had my fair hand of shit, but I can't say I turned out bad. Truth be told, I may have been worse off had he played an active role because he simply just doesn't know how to be a father. Not even to his kids that he played an active role with. So my question to myself is, why still be mad if you've gotten everything without him? And the truth is, I don't know. Just seems like the norm since I've been mad at him for years. I don't need him for anything per se, but perhaps the reaching out is more so for me, for my forgiveness, for my peace. Perhaps it's not so much of anger as I think it is, and more so hurt. Anger is simply hurt that has festered and never attended to. Food for thought for any of those struggling with daddy issues. P.S. I really hate Father's Day and didn't realize how much of a trigger it was until today, like probably 20 minutes ago. So, just the backstory of it, and I don't want to go into the spill with her too much, but my two younger brothers, their mom and my father have been together for a long time. Probably since I was like 4, you know, so, or 5, something like that. Me personally, I mean, now that I'm of age, I can reflect on situations and times where my father wasn't there, couldn't be there, and things that happened with her involvement, and that's why I said what I said. And I'm going to say what I say. As a woman, now that I'm 27 and I date men with kids, I'm not dating you. You got kids and you don't see your kids. I don't give a fuck what my problem is with the mother. I'm going to make sure that I try to keep that as kosher as possible. I'm going to make sure you see your motherfucking kids. And that's just something for me that I just could not ever respect from her. It was as if she didn't want her kids to not have all of the attention. He got other kids, bitch. They gotta see some attention too. So, you know, it's one of those things where it hurt. It hurt. And like I said as well, anger is nothing but hurt that was never attended. If my feelings were hurt and they were never addressed, I'm gonna let that hurt turn into anger. Because I haven't mastered not letting that hurt turn into anger. You know, I have to really sit with that feeling and be okay with what the fuck just happened. And not allow it to grow into me becoming angry, because that's wasted energy. When I wrote the post, I was thinking about, you know, reaching out to him. But then I thought about, what was I looking for it? What was I looking for from that conversation, you know? And the fact that I was looking for something, it told me that I wasn't ready. My spirit told me that I wasn't ready to have a conversation. And so I listened to it. I don't know when I will be ready, but I know it's something that my subconscious is thinking about. So it's something that's going to be coming to the forefront, and I know that I have to deal with it in some type of way. But I can't put a time frame on it, and I don't want anyone to feel like you have to put a time frame on it. Like, no one has to make you talk to somebody. No one has to make you have a relationship with somebody. I don't give a fuck who they are, family or not. Like, and I think that's one of the most misconstrued things about family. Family is family. Family is blood. Family is going to always be there. I do not have to interact with you because you are my family. I don't care if your nut is what produced me to be here today. I don't care. I don't have to talk to you. And so becoming of age and becoming into adulthood and womanhood, I'm owning that power that I don't have to talk to your ass. A lot of people will try to influence you. Oh, but that's your dad, and you only get one. That's your mom, you only get one mom. No. I'm the only child too. So stop making me feel guilty because it's family. It's still a person with a brain. And if this person with a brain is not operating or moving in the way that I need them to move in alignment with my life, or in a way that I can tolerate in my life, I don't have to have them around. I'm going to wrap this up because I don't want to drag this topic out too much longer. But I did want to touch on this because, I mean, you know, like I said, I got some great friends, I got some great fathers, and I see great fathers out here all the day. Y'all don't get enough credit. Y'all don't. But for the fathers who are absent in your child's life, or for the friends that know that your friends ain't shit fathers, I'm going to need y'all to get it together. I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Like, it takes a village to raise one motherfucking child. One. So it also takes a village to support those who are raising that child, meaning their friends, meaning their cousins, meaning their peers, meaning their coworkers. Support your people. Like, if you, especially the guys. Like, I know a lot of guys that hang with some ain't shit dudes, and it's like, y'all accept that shit. It's not cool. It's not cool. It is not cool. You really have to check your friends. And so for the ones that do check their friends and do step up to the plate, thank you. And I just want to shout out before I go. I gotta shout out my uncles. Everybody who knows me knows that I love the shit out of my uncles. They have stepped up to the plate my entire life. Like, my entire life. My father's brothers at that point. So it's so crazy. Like, I have a great relationship with my father's side of the family, but I just don't have a great relationship with my father. And I really want to thank my uncles for just being in my life and Chris's life and being my bank when I need it. No, seriously. Getting me out of some trouble, turning up with me, introducing me to some fly shit. So I thank y'all and I love y'all so much. And to anybody out there who struggled this past Father's Day, it's over, y'all. The shit is over. We good again till next year. But seriously, I just thank y'all for watching. I thank y'all for coming back and tuning in. I wanted to make this quick, short. I didn't want to get too emotional and cry, even though I did cry a little bit, but y'all ain't see that shit. You know, it's cool. So, tune in. I'm going to try to get this video next week, y'all. Every Tuesday has been a little hard for me because right now I'm launching my business, and I will talk about that later on once it's launched on July 1st. But I've been busy as fuck, okay? So I have to really, making these videos, I gotta sit down and think about what I want to talk about with y'all because I want them to be meaningful. Like, I don't want to just tell a story and y'all miss what the fuck I'm trying to say. I really want to get my point across. But then the next week or two, y'all will have another video for me. And I love y'all. Thank y'all for being consistent with me, and thank y'all for sticking with me on this one. Bye.